Good morning, traders. What's up? What's going on? Happy Thursday. Yes, this is different. This is new. I'm on the mic, not just for 5 minutes, not for 10 minutes, but officially up until 9 o'clock, I'm on the mic. So at 9, we'll do what we always do. We'll roll the intro again, get everybody hyped up that tunes in right at 9 o'clock. We'll dive into our pre-market commentary session like we always do from 9 to 9:30, get you guys prepared. I'm going to start doing something new. Maybe around 8:15, 8:20, jumping on the mic. If you guys have questions, let me know. We're live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. And it's just one big open floor discussion, right? So topics, questions, all that good stuff. All right, guys. So if I'm going live on TikTok, might as well throw the stream up here in chat like you guys have asked. And on YouTube, have some fun with it. All right? Stir, what's up, buddy? So if I'm just sit back, chilling, right? I'm just kind of sitting back, just chilling, relaxed. Okay, guys, what I do in the mornings up until 9 o'clock, the serious face comes on. The game face, I'm ready, all right? Fired up. Right now, I'm still waking up. I'm just laid back, chill, having a good morning. So again, 9 o'clock, when we officially start. Right now, we're just having some fun, guys. As you see, I'm down 500 on the day. So I took CBAT. The first time in what? A year? I mean, it's not been a year, but the first time in a very long time, I actually went for a high day breakout. I was looking at CBAT. I was like, well, their sales were up. Their sales were up $80 million from $9 million last year. Which is insane. Yeah, their EPS was down, but their sales year over year, 80 million. Up from 9.4 million. I was like, well, that's substantial on CBAT. I'm like, okay, all right. I saw a decent little setup. I was looking for that nice little higher low curl through high a day. We had room to the 160s, 170s. And I might stop below the VWAP and the 9 EMA. Came down. We had a very big buyer on CBAT. There's like a 120,000 share bid. That's when I pulled up that level 2 and I opened the time in sales, and you actually saw that order being taken out. So it was a legitimate order. We cracked through him hard and heavy, and we faded. I got out. But I did add to my position because I saw that big buyer, thinking that other traders see that. They start stepping on up, bidding higher. Boom. We see the higher low. Follow through high a day break. Get some nice action, but it didn't work out. So small paper cut. And the key takeaway here, guys, the key takeaway from that trade, right? I'm already down $500. Small paper cut for me. Easy to come back from. One trade, I come back plus some. So that's not the problem there. But the key takeaway is, why are we trading high day breakouts? Like, I gave it a go. I was like, you know what? I haven't done it freaking ever. I preach all day, every day. Do not trade high of day breakouts. They do not work consistently. This is a perfect example on trading high day breakouts on how you just take unnecessary losses. Just unnecessary losses. The market's not breaking out left and right for pennies. Right? 80% of the time, you see a good breakout, it fails. 20% of the time, yeah, it'll break out. But 80% of the time, it's a good setup. There's multiple reasons to take a trade. For instance, CBAT, there was multiple reasons to take that trade, and it still failed. Stocks, especially penny stocks, are simply not breaking, just ripping to the upside. So the key takeaway, do not trade, right? Do not trade high day breakouts in the current market. Just stay away. Just stay away from high day breakouts. If anything, short high day breakouts. You're better off shorting these exceptional high day breakout setups because 80% of the time they fail and they fade. So I'm a little short buy still of penny stocks. We've seen a lot of nice short opportunity this week. And now that I'm back and I can short, I'm definitely looking to be a little bit more short biased because that's just what we've been seeing. A lot of false breakouts, a lot of rug pulls. Definitely looking to take advantage of the short opportunity in the market. What's up, Jake? What's up, George? Mr. Rod. What's up, buddy? How did you hook up all those screens to the same system? I have 2 GPUs. J-Dub says, yo, took a sympathy trade on my behalf. Aw, you were so sweet, Josh. When's the last time I've taken a high day breakout trade? I can't tell you. When's the last time you saw me taking a breakout trade with penny stock? I can't tell you. It's been months. I've been preaching this for months to not do it. I did it. I did it. And it's a good example. So if you want to look at it that way, I like it. Oh, thanks, Josh. Thanks for losing $500 for me and proving a point. You're welcome. Don't trade high day breakouts. Just going to lose money consistently. Okay. Now again, $4.95 to some is like, Jesus, that's a lot. That's not. That's 0.05% of my account. Right. I can risk up to 3% if I really wanted to. I risked literally 0.4%. Half of a percent was my risk. So that's an easy comeback because again, if I see an A+ setup, what's the risk I take? I would go up to like 3% risk. If I'm looking at 2-to-1 setups, what's my ideal profit percentage? 6%? What does that equate to? Substantial profits compared to this very minimal loss. So we lose as traders, right? We lose. It's a given. We're going to lose. You cannot win 100% of the time. But what separates just traders from professional traders? Traders don't manage their risk. Traders are greedy and don't lock in their profits. Traders are not just disciplined. They hit their stop area, they justify why they should hold and add, they take a bigger loss. Okay? Professionals manage their risk. It hits their stop level, they get out. They walk away. They don't hold the bag. Professionals don't trade emotionally. They don't revenge trade. They just stick to their plan, knowing that the probabilities over time will be in their favor. They will see success. They take profits. They take great A+ setups. They build plans and they manage their risk. So again, very small loss. Cut it. Glad I cut it. I'd have been down $1,500 if I didn't cut it. And again, it's a small loss that I can easily bounce back from. So we'll see what we have today. I'm not really interested in penny stocks, just to let you know. I'm not really interested in penny stocks, just to let you guys know. So you got T and XP moving on up and dumping on off. Right? So look at that big spike. Look at that big old spike here on T and XP from 216 almost to 3, and then just dumped on off. Okay, I'm not a fan of these just pump and dumps. Right, nothing's holding their gains. IMAC ripping on up to 116, pulling back to $1. Now that's not a massive dump. It's a pretty healthy pullback. We need to retest $1. It's actually 99 cents on IMAC. So we just broke above $1. $1 is just a psychological level of support resistance. So we'll be watching IMAC today above 99 cents to $1. You know, if we can trade above $1, hold above, set up, start to see some buyers move in above $1, we could see this up to like 120, 121. So I think IMAC is worth watching at this point in time. I think TNXP is going to be more of a back burner at this point in time. CBAT, again, I think it's going to be a little bit of a back burner at this point in time. You do have some support around like 123 on CBAT, and they posted really good sales. I mean, $80 million up from $9 million year over year. So I mean, that's substantial. That's an extra $70 million in sales. So I want to watch CBAT. I know it doesn't look good right now here in pre-market, but I do want to watch CBAT, sure. See if that has any action to it. I'm really trying to take these stocks and just find two. Like 2 to 3 stocks that I just want to focus on. I don't want to look at 10 penny stocks. I want to look at like 2 or 3 penny stocks. But again, it's kind of like yesterday. Right? There's about 10 stocks that could move today. There's about 10 stocks that we should maybe watch. Not saying you guys watch, but me watch. They start moving, they start ripping, and there's opportunity. At least I'm mindful and aware of these opportunities. I can, bring them to your attention. But again, my goal is to try and take these 10 stocks down to like 2 stocks that I think have just the absolute best potential. But most of my focus is the SPY and the Qs because today, in my opinion, it's a make or break day for the SPY and the Qs. It's a make or break. Is this a rally? We can start rallying back up over 400 in the next couple of weeks ahead of CPI, PPI data next month, ahead of the FOMC meeting. Or are we going to dump on off? I think today and tomorrow is going to be a make or break day to see where we're heading in the next week or two. Yo, Big Dog. What's up, Big Dog? Hey, by the way, guys, we're live on YouTube already. All right, so we're live on YouTube. If you want to see my charts and my scanners, ask questions, get examples, just head over to YouTube. It's AlphaDayTrading, guys. Yo, Steve, what's up, buddy? Morning. When you say you have your finger on the button, do you mean you're ready to do a market trade? So when I say I have my finger on the trigger, that means I'm either ready to buy or sell. Yep. So if I'm in a trade, I'm like, all right, guys, my finger's on the trigger, getting ready to get out, fingers on the trigger. That means my finger is literally on the trigger, my mouse is over that place button, and I am really watching this stock. I'm honed in, I'm looking at it. Am I going to sell? Am I going to add? Like, I'm dialed in, I'm focused. Okay, so the other stock would be like INDP. So INDP announcing FDA clearance. So there is some news with INDP. It is the lowest float stock on the leaderboard. It's 5 million in float. It's trading pretty good volume. I mean, really good volume. On average, like 40,000 shares. Trading 4.6 million. So I like INDP. It has high relative volume, low float stock. We have good news, but there's always a but in this current market. But this current market sucks. So in a healthier market, INDP would be a top stock. In this kind of market, it's just a little bit of a back burner. You know, we'll keep it on watch above 3. And if we can set up above 3, we could see back up at 350, 60. Start cracking 3, you're coming down to like 275. So again, for now, it's a back burner. I mean, we have an hour. We have a little bit less than an hour until the market opens. Anything could happen, right? Do we have any 8:30 press releases? 9 a.m. press releases? 9:30? Are all these stocks that we've been talking about going to dump? Or are traders going to go trade AMC? Right? Is there just going to be one stock that steals the focus? Just a random stock? So a lot of these stocks are back burners just to periodically look at, be mindful of them. If they start setting up, we're already somewhat prepared, one step ahead, and we can make it happen. We can react quickly. So this is what we're doing, is we're building this really back burner watch list, getting prepared with our levels, and if we see an opportunity, all we have to do is just react. That's what we're doing right now. So yeah, INDP, $3 support, 350 to 360 resistance. Start dipping below 3, your next level of support here would be like 275 on INDP. And that's the goal, is avoiding the noise, right? Eliminating the noise, eliminating distractions, okay? I mean, there's a lot of stocks that have opportunity. You know, from my position, I need to be looking at every single stock that has opportunity. Because the last thing I want to do is just be looking at one stock. 20 minutes later, everybody's like, yo, Josh, what about CBAT? That thing just ripped. I'm like, oh, no, I need to be looking at these stocks. I don't suggest you guys have 20, 30 stocks on your watch list. But for me, I can already pretty much eliminate the distractions and the noise. I know what's worth watching, what's not, but I still need to stay in tune, you know, with the overall market and a lot of these potential stocks, just to make sure that you guys don't miss opportunities. So definitely for you, yeah, focus on 2 to 3 stocks at most, right? If you're looking at the SPY and the Qs, count that as 1. SPY, the Qs, right? Count that as 1. You got one thing you're looking at. Find the Qs, okay? You got 2 other places. Right? 2 penny stocks. Is it a large cap? You're looking at options. What are you doing? 2 to 3 stocks. Eliminate the noise. Remove the distractions. Elite 1, how many monitors does it really take to monitor multiple stocks? So I don't have these monitors to monitor. I don't have these monitors to monitor multiple stocks. I have these monitors because I stream to multiple locations. I do look at back burner stocks. Again, I have my hands in a lot of things. So I have a calendar, I have meetings, I develop. There's so many things to do. So I have a calendar, I have a watch list, I build a newsletter in the morning, I have my brokers open, I stream scanners. So I need what I call real estate because, again, I don't like having just one monitor with just a billion tabs. I like to have certain things in certain places. It's just my OCD. So is it excessive? Absolutely. Do I recommend you have 4 monitors? Absolutely not. But for me and what I do, it's beneficial. So SXTC. So what do we have here on SXTC? So we have a 1 to 20 reverse split. Not really going to be worth your time on SXTC. It is just a reverse stock split. Okay, so it's not really up 1,500%. It's just a reverse stock split, not worth your time. Right now with SIGA. So we had SIGA receiving approval from the FDA for formulation of TPO-XX. So I do like SIGA. I like the press release. Nice low float stock, 41 million in float, 2.9 million shares traded, on average 160. So we have high relative volume. And this is a former mover. You know, it's ripped before in the past. And look where we're at right now on SIGA. Look at that 52-week high. Is that a 52-week high or is that an all-time high? That, ladies and gentlemen, is an all-time high. Right? On SIGA was 937. What do we know about stocks that break into new all-time highs? The sky's the limit, baby. The sky's the limit. We're in uncharted territory. I mean, this thing technically could rip up to 15 today. So you played every 50 cents to $1. So every 50 cents, you're mindful of those levels. If you see that resistance, lock in profits. If you don't have any resistance and you don't see any struggling every 50 cents, you're definitely thinking every dollar to lock in profits. But right now, I would say the news, the volume, the floats, how we just ripped on up here, new all-time highs, potential to break over 10. At this point in time, SIGA is going to be one of my top stocks. One of my top stocks to watch. Absolutely. So in order to run Fibonacci extensions, first and foremost, we have to have, a validated Fibonacci retracement. So let's say we just chose this low to this high. Did we respect a Fibonacci level? We did not. So if we do not have a fib with a retracement low to connect the extension, we cannot actually use the extension. So that's what's going to be really challenging, is we don't have a nice retracement low to connect that third point for the extension. But if we take this into, say, like a weekly, does that help us out any? Does that help us out? Again, we're looking at that same range from that significant low to that significant high, and we do not have that pullback low, that retracement, to connect an extension off of. So that's going to be a bit challenging to do on this stuff. What if we throw it into, say, a monthly? I don't know why I said all-time high. I scrolled back. I forgot I wasn't on all-time. I was on a 10-year. So that's not the all-time high. My bad, guys. That is not the all-time high. We can look back here. See, the all-time high was 1521. So at least we can see we have some levels the past. Right? We can go back and look a little bit further. Let's go take this to max available on a daily. Let's take this and scroll this all the way back. And let's start marking up some of these levels that we see on the daily that are going to be potential levels of resistance. So we're just looking at this area here, just trying to find a price that's been hit multiple times. And the first area that I see is going to be $11.12. Why 11.12? Look at how many times 11.12 is hit. Support, resistance, 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 all this support, all this resistance, and when we actually gapped down here, it was the spiking high from the gap down. So if we break 10, we have room to 11 or 11.12. Okay, so we have one target. Let's find a second target just in case. Well, I see this gap that could be filled at 1067. Pretty close to this massive spiking low. This is a pretty significant low. This low a day on this big green candle. Why is this big green candle significant? Well, look at the volume that day. There was a huge spike in volume. The low of day was right there, close to that gap, where it gapped down. So I would say 1167 is another level for a potential profit target. And then we're looking up towards around 1223. Why 1223? Well, we have support, resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance. So we can see 1223 is another good profit taking level. So we have some good profit taking levels right off the bat. If we break 10 and we're long for any reason, take profits at 11.12. If it hits 11.67, we take profits. If it hits 12.23, we take profits, so on and so forth, and we're just identifying the best profit-taking levels at this point in time. You know, support right now going to be right around this 937. I would say right around 937, and the reason it's 937 because it is that 52-week high. So if we can hold above that 52-week high of 937, as support and we curl back up for a $10 break, I would look to try and catch this up towards around 11.12 on SIGA. So right now, I'm prepared on SIGA. I know exactly where I would like to get in, where I'd like to get out, what we need to see before I jump into this trade. So I definitely think SIGA is going to be a top stock. Definitely a top stock for today. Yeah, so I have a new mic coming today. So I do have my new microphone coming today. So this mic, I've just noticed some issues. I lost my little stand. I broke the stand actually. And long story short, I just bought a new mic. I've been wanting to buy a new one for a while, so I bought a new one. It'll be here today. So the quality, I listened to the stream yesterday. The quality was horrendous. The quality was terrible. So bear with me. It'll be much better tomorrow. So Michael has a good question. He says, great news on SIGA. I agree, but why does it go down? Shorts entering? It could be shorts entering because that's a sell order, right? Also just profit taking. So imagine you, Michael, imagine this, put yourself in this, paint this picture in your head. Let's say you were in at $8, right? You're buying at $8. So you're buying, and then you have a lot of other traders in the market buying at $8 as well. So what does buying do? It pushes the stock up, right? You buy at 8, someone else comes in and buys at 8.01, someone else at 8.05, 8.10, 8.15. There's demand. They're willing to pay higher prices. The stock goes up. So let's say, Michael, you were in at $8, and you have $10 resistance, right? $10, it's a psychological level. It's resistance. What are you looking to do at resistance, Michael? Stock goes from $8 to $10. What are you looking to do? Are you going to hold it, hoping it goes higher? Like, what are you thinking about doing? You're up $2 a share. If you would have bought 500 shares at $8 and it went to $10, you're up $1,000 in profit in about 15 minutes. What are you doing at $10? Knowing that it's a very strong level of resistance. What are you doing? You're taking some profits, right? And when you take profit, what are you doing? You're selling. So now you have you and pretty much every other trader in the market that knows $10 is resistance, they're locking in profits. And as a buyer, you're like, well, I'm not going to buy at resistance, right? Because I know that traders are going to be selling at resistance. So you have less buyers at resistance because they know it's resistance. You have more sellers at resistance because that's a level of resistance, and that's where they need to lock in profits. So it's more or less contributed towards less buyers at levels of resistance, just more sellers, because that's what people do. They lock in profits at levels of resistance. And then it could be contributed a little bit towards maybe short selling as well. Very possible, because shorts enter at levels of resistance and they cover at levels of support when buyers are buying at levels of support. So, all right, that's what's happening. You just have some profit taking. That's it. Now, the thing is it healthy profit taking, right? Is it too much selling, or it's like it looks pretty strong to the downside? Or is it healthy selling? What do I mean healthy selling? Look at your volume. So when you see that profit taking, when you see that pullback, is it occurring on less volume? If it is, that tells you there's less and less and less sellers. Sellers are being depleted. It'll be easier for buyers to step back in and retake control, push it to the upside. Now, if this stock was pulling back, selling off a little bit due to profit taking, but we saw more and more and more volume, that's telling you that more and more and more traders are getting out as it's falling. That tells you that there's more strength to the downside. It may be harder for buyers to step in to transition this back to the upside. So we start to see this pullback. It's a healthy pullback. It's healthy profit taking. It's on decreased volume. So it's going to be easier to see buyers step back in and retake control, push it to the upside. Harvey, what's up, buddy? Can you explain the colors in time and sales? Absolutely. So every broker is going to be different, but I can explain on TD Ameritrade. Some brokers are different. You're going to see orange and blue and purple and pink. So every broker is a little bit different. But with TD Ameritrade, you're going to have three colors. You have red, green, and white. Okay, so white's neutral. So that's an order that took place in the middle of the market, right? In the middle of the ask and the bid. It was neutral. Okay. Green. You see green. Those are orders that are taking place at the ask. So when you see these green orders on the time and sales, that is an order that's going through at the ask. Okay. When you see red, that's an order that's taking place at the bid. That's what TD Ameritrade says anyway. It's on their website. So again, green orders indicate that the orders are coming in at or near the ask, right? Red orders indicate that, these orders are coming in at or near the bid, and white is considered neutral. They just occur right in the middle of the ask and the bid. It's just neutral. Would you be able to use the same strategies for options? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Technical analysis is technical analysis. If you're charting Apple for shares, you're going to chart it the same exact way for options. So if there's a strategy and you're going to take shares, you can take that same exact strategy for option. The only thing that differs is how you actually manage your risk. That's it. It's just managing your risk with options, right? Because if you buy 100 shares of Apple and it goes down $1, you lost $100. It's pretty simple math. If you buy 10 contracts and Apple goes down $1, how much did you lose? How much did you lose? Do you know? It's not basic. It's not simple math. You got to go look at the delta. What's the implied volatility? Take that in consideration. How long did you hold the trade? What's the theta? There's so many variables with options, but it's pretty simple. If you just keep it simple and focus on the delta and you calculate your risk to reward based on the delta, because the delta represents what the option will go up or down for every dollar the stock goes up or down, it makes it that much more easier to really calculate what your risk and reward is going to be. So 100%, you can trade the same strategies you trade, like shares, with options. Gonzo, how do you manage your risk with options? Here's the awesome, beautiful thing, Gonzo. I have a free lesson, a free course on YouTube. It's titled The Ultimate Options Course. And we actually talk about how to manage your risk with options, because that's what it's all about, guys. Risk management. We need to know the outcome of our trades, right? We need to know the outcome. What's our profit? What's our loss? Right? We need to know the outcome so we can build a plan and accept it. So how do we manage our risk with options? Well, watch that lesson. It's going to explain how you manage your risk and build a plan around an options trade so you can actually accept that plan and know exactly what the outcome is going to be very closely, right? Because again, options are options. It's not always going to be exact, but it's better than 50-50. Put the odds in your favor. 90-10. I'll take 90% odds over 50-50 odds every day. It's not as clear cut as equities, right? Because you know what the outcome is going to be 99.9% of the time, right? Well, options, the correlation is not exact, right? There's a lot of the other variables, and again, the correlation is not tight, it's exact all the time. So again, give yourself a little bit of breathing room building those plans, but at least it takes you from, I don't know the outcome, it's 50-50, to I have a very, very, very good idea what the outcome is going to be based on that risk management. Absolutely. 100%. I need all these screens to lose money. Yeah. So 8:51. We got 9 minutes until we officially dive into it, guys, but we've pretty much officially dived into pretty much everything, right? So we all know that I'm really going to be watching SIGA out of the gate and see it down towards around 8:52 next on SIGA. So it's worth watching. TNXP, big pump and dump, right? Pumped on up, dumped on down. It's a back burner at this point in time just to see if it moves. So again, a little bit of a back burner here on TNXP. IMAC, I have to say it's a back burner as well. ARRY. This is actually a swing trade idea on ARRY. So we can thank Mr. George from the NYC for bringing ARRY to our attention. I really do like ARRY. Couple things. All right, number one, we just broke with high volume this daily downtrend. Number one. Number two, double bottom. That indicates market structure. Number three, divergence on the daily chart. We see this divergence going all the way back to January. So we have the RSI low and the low on the chart. Put in a lower low on the chart, but a higher low with the RSI. We put in a lower low on the chart, but a higher low on the RSI, giving us a pretty nice double bottom. It formed a bullish doji, followed through, broke the downtrend, high volume. The next area to break to really confirm a reversal is the neckline at 930. If we ever start breaking that 930 neckline, this could be a killer swing trade up to 1388 on ARRY. So if you like swing trading, keep ARRY on watch. Bring it to my attention here today towards the end of the day. And if this thing's setting up, we may have a really nice swing trade on ARRY. So George, good stuff, buddy. So again, IMAC at this point in time, back burner. Now at 9:30, things could change, but I would say back burner on IMAC. CBAT, it has news, but it's a back burner. I would say INDP should be one of our top 2 to 3 stocks to watch. It definitely shows potential, and it has good news on INDP, and it's the lowest float stock on the leaderboard, so we'll watch that. I have SKYH as a back burner. DPSI, one of yesterday's nice big runners from 6 to 13. That's a back burner today. RIBT was a nice gap up from 60 cents to 72 cents. It's not dumping on off. It is a back burner as well to see if we can eventually break that 72, 73 cent area. And we could see this thing up towards around 90 cents. So it has potential, but not the best potential. That's why it's going to be a back burner at this point in time. Same thing with AGRI, prior day mover, just way on the back burner, just periodically looking at it to see if there is opportunity. And VERU, same thing, back burner. If it starts moving, we already know why it's moving, and we're already somewhat prepared, right? So it's a back burner. If you guys disagree with what I think and how I'm separating my watch list, now's the time to let me know before we go into our official commentary session at 9 a.m. So I'm looking at SIGA, one of my top stocks right at 9:30. I'm watching INDP as one of my top stocks at 9:30. And that's it. I'm looking at these 2 penny stocks. Now, maybe I say VERU. And the reason I say maybe VERU is this stock has tons of hype over the past couple of weeks, right? We had a red day yesterday. It's normal. There was going to be profit taking, okay? But we do have this potential downtrend to be broken, which is $15 as well. $15 psychological resistance, looking to break, right? That's a key area. And the downtrend. So I would say VERU because we know when this stock rips, the stock rips. So breaking that downtrend, breaking 15, we could see it back up at 1630 and then 1720. And support right now is 1384. So I would actually say if I had to choose a third stock to watch out of the gate, I would choose VERU. Officially on the back burner at this point in time. Okay, TNXP has news. IMAC has news. CBAT, it has news. SKYH, daily technical formation. Now this is our swing trade alert from 2 weeks ago. It's setting back up for a possible break of this short-term downtrend on the daily chart and a break over 10. It's a back burner. It could be a good swing trade opportunity. Okay, so if we're talking swing trades, another potential swing trade opportunity would be ARRY. So ARRY, SKYH, back burners at this point in time. We'll peek at them throughout the day, and if they're giving us confirmation for a swing trade, these are good 2 swing trade candidates. AGRI, 100% on the back burner. RIBT, back burner. DPSI, back burner. All right, what are those stocks? DPSI, RIBT, and AGRI. These are prior day movers that have potential. Why would they have potential? Well, if these top gaining stocks today don't do anything, what do traders do? They go back to prior day movers, stocks that they know. So AGRI, prior day mover, that's a back burner. RIBT, prior day mover, that's a back burner. And then DPSI, prior day mover, that's a back burner. Stocks that have news today that could move on up: CBAT, back burner. IMAC, back burner, but it may be coming to the top watch list because we are holding this 99-cent level. And then TNXP, definitely a back burner. So let's just go ahead and do this. Let's add IMAC for now on our top stock watch list. That's going to be SIGA, INDP, ERU, IMAC, right? Pretty much covered all of our penny stocks, which is fantastic. That gives us much more time to just dissect the SPY, the Qs, the broader markets. You guys have stocks that you're looking at. It gives me a chance to review them, do some TA. You guys prepared? So moving forward, what you guys are going to expect is I go live at 9 or 8:15 on TikTok. Normally I go live, I answer questions for about 45 minutes. Then we're live inside a chat. We're live on YouTube. Okay. Moving forward, I'm going to go live in chat at 8:15. I'm going to go live on TikTok at 8:15. I'm going to go live on YouTube at 8:15. If I can start doing it at 8 o'clock, I'll do it at 8 o'clock. But I want to make sure that I'm getting the morning stock newsletter done, that I'm getting us prepared, and it's not distracting me from making sure we're getting prepared for the day. But if I can make sure I can balance that out, I will definitely start going live. It's just one big open floor discussion, right? Basically, going live on TikTok like I have for the past year. I'm just going to open up these other channels, and we're just going to go live. You have questions, I got you. YouTube, questions, I got you. TikTok, questions, I got you. So it's just one big open floor discussion. That's all it really is. Okay, we're going to talk about what's going on in the market, how we're getting prepared, but we officially dive into it right at 9 a.m. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's roll that intro. Let's get you guys fired up and hyped up, and let's dive into today's preparation session. Good morning, traders! What's up? I know this is so weird. You're like, bro, you were just talking for the last 45 minutes and now you're hitting that intro, hitting that big old good morning. Well, of course, we got to stay in the routine. Now it's time to get zoned in, time to get focused, time to get prepared, time to be on top of things. So yes, good morning, traders. What's up? What's going on? Happy Money Thursday. I hope you guys had a wonderful evening and that you guys are fired up, ready to rock and roll for an awesome day today. It is 9:01 in the markets on this beautiful May 19, 2022, baby. We're going to talk about what we have going on, where the opportunity is for the day, and how we're getting you guys prepared. All right, so we pretty much already did this. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the top 4 stocks thoroughly in detail. Back burners. Just going to hit on them very quickly because they're back burners. And we're going to dive into the SPY and the Qs and these larger cap stocks that have opportunity for today. So the number 1 stock I will be watching today is going to be SIGA. SIGA receives approval from the FDA. So we have FDA approval news on SIGA. It's a 41 million in float stock. So it's a low enough float stock, it can rip and run. The average volume, 160,000 shares. Are we trading good volume today? Yes, we are. We're trading 5.1 million shares. High relative volume, low float stock, really good news. We just broke above this prior 52-week high. 52-week high was 957. We ran up the $10 psychological resistance. We came back. We could not hold that 937 area. The new level of support, next level of support is between 850 and 875. What do we know about penny stocks? 875 is just one of those really weird, just random prices that hold up as support and resistance for pennies. Why did we come down to 875? It's just 875. That's a rule for penny stocks. 875 is just that pretty random level that likes to, hold up as support and resistance. So we are going to be watching this above 850 past chart support, right? So 850 support. Then we have that psychological 875 level on this penny stock. So 850 to 875 support. You are going to have resistance at 937 and then 10. If we ever break over 10, we can see 1112, 1167, and 1223. Right? So we have the news, low flow stock, great volume, already had a pretty healthy move on up, nice healthy pullback into support. If it sets up out of the gates, we are going to be looking for an opportunity to lock in some profits. Definitely one of my top stocks to watch out of the gate, guys. SIGA. The second stock I'll be watching today, right at 9:30, is going to be INDP. So INDP released earnings. No, I lied. Get to that one in a moment. INDP was FDA clearance news. So they're announcing FDA clearance of their new investigational drug application to initiate phase 1 clinical trials. INDP, it has the highest relative volume today. So this stock's trading 5 million shares. Check this out. On average, 40,000 shares. So it barely trades any volume. Today, 5 million shares. It's the lowest float stock on the leaderboard. So it has the news. It has the volume. It's the lowest float stock. And I know penny stock traders gravitate more towards the low float stocks. Why is that? Lower the float, the bigger the spikes, the quicker the spikes. Right? The larger of a float stock, the slower and steadier it is. As a day trader, I want to get in, get out. I want to get in, lock in my profits, get out. I don't want to sit here and hold a stock for 5 hours. So I gravitate towards low float stocks, stocks that can rip 50 cents to $1 in the matter of minutes. And that's what the majority of penny stock traders do as well. We're looking for those low float stocks. So INDP has the news, it has the volume, and it's a low float stock, right? So right now we are cracking below $3. We do have room down to this 275. That is the make or break for INDP. We have to hold above 275. If we do not stay above 275, I don't expect to see anything happen today with INDP. It could come down to 250, come down to 215. I don't really expect to see too much happen with INDP if it cracks below 275. So let it come down. Let's see if it holds above 275. If it does, and we see a reason to get in there, that could be a nice low area to start scaling in. You ever see it breaking back above $3? That could be another area to add to your position for that rip on up to 350 and 360. Okay, so go ahead and run a downtrend here on INDP. So run yourself a downtrend. Have 275 support. So if this stock ever sets up at or near support, breaking this downtrend, that could confirm a entry to start scaling in. Over $3 resistance, you can add to your position with a target of 350 and 360. If you ever break over that 350, 360 area, it does have room to $4. Okay, so INDP is going to be the second stock that I watch right out of the gate at 9:30. VERU. This is a prior day mover. Okay, VERU has had tons of hype for the past 6 trading sessions. The stock went from 690 to to 1720 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading sessions. Today's number 6. All right, I do want to keep this one on watch because there is a lot of hype. There is a lot of attention with VERU. So what we're looking for is a simple break of this downtrend. That's it. Simple break of the downtrend. That's also breaking above $15 psychological resistance. So a $15 break is where I expect to see volume move in. Just naturally, right? Breaking above 15, you would tend to see volume move in at that level. Now what would happen as well? You'd be going from the bearish side of the trend line to the bullish side, right? You would have more buyers stepping in on the bullish side of the trend line. Okay, so we break 15 naturally. That brings in some interest. That brings in some volume. Now you're going to the bullish side of the trend line. That brings in some interest. That brings in some volume. That right there could get this thing going. Right? That right there could get this thing going to the upside. Where do we have room to? Yesterday's resistance, 1628. Yesterday's pre-market resistance, 1667. And then those post-market highs from Tuesday at 1720. So we know exactly what we're looking for, what we need to see before we're in. We know exactly where we should be locking in profits. Let me give you guys a more realistic profit target as well. Underneath these lows, at around 1550 to 1560. I know I said 1628, very realistic. Break 15 in the downtrend, I don't see why we wouldn't just rip on up 1630. Okay, because there's a lot of hype with the stock. But you need to be mindful, there could be some resistance right around that 1550 to 1560, and we should be prepared and have a plan to possibly lock in some profits at that level of resistance. So VERU, absolutely a top stock to watch. Bottom support at this point in time is 1384. That's bottom support, 1384. Top stock to watch at 9:30, guys. And then the last stock, I know it was on the back burner, and then we put it back on the top stock watch list, and then back on the back burner. It's going back on the back burner. All right, it's going back on the back burner. The only reason it went from the back burner to the top stock watch list is we had that pullback, and we saw it fighting to hold above that 98, 99 cent level of support. Here recently, it just dipped on down. It just fell on through. So I don't like it, right? I don't like it. It's a back burner. If it breaks back above $1 and stays above $1, then it goes from the back burner to the main watch list. Under $1, it remains on the back burner, and at some point, it may just come off. But if we ever see it back above and holding $1, let's focus on it. There could be some potential. That's IMAC. And IMAC reported a 13G filing, which showed a 3.7%, no, I'm sorry, 5.2% equity stake in the company. So similar to what we had yesterday on NMTC, I think it was. But yes, same thing, 13G filing showing a new 5% stake in the company. So that's what's going on with the IMAC, but as we just discussed, it's a back burner. TNXP, right? There is some news with TNXP this morning. So we have shares of TNXP, Sigma, whatever. Where is that press release? That was last night. That was yesterday. TNXP extends collaboration with Canadian University to develop antiviral drugs against coronavirus. I don't like this stock. It has news. Don't get me wrong. It has news. It was leading the board at one point in time. It has volume. But there's two reasons I don't like the stock. Number one, it's $600 million in float. $600 million in float. It's going to take a lot to move this thing. It really is. Okay. The other reason I don't like it, pump and dump. It ripped from $2.17 almost to $3 and gave everything back plus some. Pump and dump, large float stock. Not a fan of it. It's a back burner. Okay? If it starts setting up and there's a reason to talk about it, we'll talk about it. Break it down. We'll get you guys prepared. But right now, I do not want to overwhelm you with sensory overload, information overload on 20 stocks. Right? So just know it's on my back burner, and why? Because it has news and it could move today. Okay? But it's a back burner. CBAT, back burner as well. Now CBAT could move. There's potential. That's why it's on the back burner. They released earnings. Their sales were up year over year, $80 million compared to $9 million. So their sales year over year up $70 million. That's pretty good. So I like that with CBAT. Right? I liked that news. I liked the potential that we had here in pre-market. Right? I see this potential cup and handle, potential ascending triangle, potential higher low break through high day for that nice rip and run. With this low float stock, with that good news, great sales revenue, I took the trade. The first time in forever that I took a high day breakout trade. And I got stopped out. I lost $500. So the key takeaway here, guys, market conditions are not allowing you to trade breakouts consistently. That's the key takeaway. Market conditions are not allowing you to trade high day breakouts consistently. 20% of the time, they work out. 80% of the time, they do not work out and they dump. So what's the key takeaway? Do not trade high of day breakouts on penny stocks. Stay away. The consistency is not there. Take my loss as an example. Okay, I took it for a high day breakout. This could have been you. This doesn't have to be you. Learn from my loss. Learn from my mistake. High day breakout, no bueno. It's not working in this market. So why are you going to do that? You're not going to, because you're going to lose more than you win. Okay? So that's CBAT. Back burner just to see if it moves. It has news, has volume. Back burner just in case it moves. Okay? But we're really not too focused on it out of the gate. Okay? Yesterday's mover, DPSI, it's a back burner as well. Just curious to see if it starts moving. Why would I even be curious to see if it starts moving? Let's say SIGA just dumps. Let's say INDP just dumps and doesn't do anything. Let's say VERU is dumping, not doing anything. Let's say that these top stocks in pre-market, they have news. Let's say they're not doing anything and they're just fading and falling. And traders are like, where's the opportunity? Where's the money to be made? What are they doing? They're hunting. When they start looking at stocks to trade to get something going, they resort back to stocks they already know. Prior day movers, stocks that are already ripped, stocks that they think can rip again. So that's why we're watching some of these prior day movers, just in case our top stocks for today, with news or whatever the case is, just in case they do nothing, some of these prior day movers could be the stocks that traders land on. That's going to be DPSI, just something to periodically look at to see if there's volume, to see if there's opportunity. If not, it'll come off the watch list. But for now, just curious to see if it does move, if nothing else in the market does move today. RIBT, yesterday's one of yesterday's top movers from like 60 cents to 73 cents. Again, back burner stock. If you ever see the stock breaking over 75 cents, looking at that daily chart, we have room to 90 cents. So breaking 73 cents, breaking 75 cents, we could see another leg to the upside towards around 90 cents, and we have support at 67 cents right now. Okay, so get kind of prepared, do some due diligence. If it starts moving, there's volume, and there's a reason to get involved, you guys are all set ready to rock and roll. AGRI, I'm not looking at it. It's coming off. We have two potential swing trades. I'm going to list off the stocks. You can add them to a potential swing trade watch list. We'll talk about these here before lunch, before we jump off the mic, and then towards the end of the day. I look at swing trades towards the end of the day, right? Because if I'm looking at a swing trade now and it looks good and I jump in at 9:30 and it dumps throughout the day, I would have never taken that swing trade in the first place. So I'm looking to enter swing trades towards the end of the day. So here towards the end of the day, we'll talk about SKYH and the potential that it has. And we'll talk about ARRY and the potential that it has. Both of these stocks have really good potential to be a very nice swing trade. Okay? So let's go ahead and recap real quick. Top stocks that I think you should be watching out of the gate. And these are the top stocks I'm watching right out of the gate. SIGA, INDP, VERU. That's it. Now, I do see NURO is moving on up. This must have just dropped a press release at 9 a.m. Oh, it did. Look at that. NURO reports that Quell wearable neuromodulation device has received FDA authorization at first non-pharmacological, so many big words, treatment for fibromyalgia. I don't know how to say it, but whatever. I don't need to say these big words. All I need to know is the keywords in these press releases. Received FDA authorization. That is the keyword in this press release. Receiving FDA authorization. In URO, have a press release. There's a catalyst. There's a reason for the stock to be moving. In URO, trading high relative volume. The last 17 minutes, we've traded 3 million shares, pretty much 3 million shares. Trade 100,000 on average. So we have the volume. It's another lower float stock like INVP. So it's safe to say we could absolutely add in URO to one of our top stocks to watch out of the gate. Now, where can it go? That's the big question, right? Okay, Josh, it's on watch, but where do I get in? Where do I lock in profits? Where can it go? Go ahead and look at this daily chart real quick. So we can see there's going to be some support at 348. See, there's going to be some support at $4, and it's psychological. So $4 is pretty key. $4. Crack below 4, you could come into these daily lows at 380. Crack below 380, coming back down towards around 350. So $4, ideally, you want to see hold of support. Let's look at levels of resistance, profit-taking levels. I see 450. There's a low on the daily chart. There's a spiking high on the daily chart. There's a spiking high, spiking high, spiking high, and it's a psychological level. It's a light psychological level of support and resistance. It's just a round number, 450. So we'll keep that on watch, and it lines up with some daily support resistance levels as well. $5, obviously. $5 is the second strongest level for penny stocks to break above. And then we could see those spiking highs at 534. So we're prepared, right? We are prepared. We know why the stock is moving. We know why it's gapping up. We know it can rip and run, has a low float. We know there's high relative volume. That's telling us that there's more traders here. When we have traders on the stock moves, right? Volume equals activity, and activity equals profit. If we have volume, the stock's active. If the stock's active, it's easy to lock in profits. But if there's no volume, the stock's not going to be very active. If the stock's not very active, it's going to be really hard to make profits. So again, we need to make sure that the stock has volume. We need to make sure that the stock is moving for a credible reason, such as a press release. We do have the press release here on NURL. And you take a moment, mark up your levels, get prepared, support resistance, profit-taking levels, right? Go ahead and just get a good understanding and get prepared. And now what do? Sit back, relax, be patient, and just wait for a setup to form at or near one of these levels of support. So that is going to be our penny stock watch list for today. Let's take a moment, talk about the SPY and the Qs. So yesterday, that 392 level was a very key level. Very key level for the SPY. Why was it a key level? Well, we closed this daily gap. We filled this daily gap at 392. I was telling you guys last night, I think this is a make or break. Either A, we come down and close the gap. We gap up slightly. We have a slight open. We come back down and retest that gap level. And then we push to 400. Over 400, we could see a multi-week rally ahead of the new CPI, PPI numbers, and the FOMC meeting as well. That's a possibility. We have 9 minutes. Anything can happen. I mean, I highly doubt we're going to open above that level in 9 minutes, but anything can happen. So that was option A. Plan A. We slightly gap up above that 392.34. We see a quick pullback, test that level as intraday support, and then we start ripping. Back to 400, back over 400. I take calls for a multi-week swing trade. And I say I take calls, but you know how I trade the SPY. Inverse ETF, but you guys would be looking at calls. So that's probably not going to happen because we are below that level. And my plan number 2 was if we gap down. I had a long plan. I had a short plan. If we gap down below 392.34 and we see it push up to that level and it holds as resistance, I would think we could continue to see this selling momentum carry through into today. bringing this back down for a daily retest of last week's low of 385.15. So I'm leaning more towards the short today. I'm leaning more towards the short, right? Obviously, we're going to gap down. I'd like to see it push back up into that level, right? Maybe it doesn't hit 392.34. Maybe it gets rejected right there off yesterday's lows of 390.54. That's a possibility. But if you start to see it breaking above yesterday's low, you start to see it slightly pushing above yesterday's close, don't feel convicted and confident that it's game over. It's going to run. That key level is 392.34. That's when you can start feeling confident. Okay, we have potential to 400. If we do open up, we cannot get above yesterday's low, yesterday's close, and that 392.34, that main level that I'm focused on. See that resistance. Market's topping out. Looks like we're going to roll over and fade. I am planning on shorting the SPY today back down to that 385.15. And I think today's a make or break, right? Because what if we do have this short and it comes down to 385.15 and then it cracks below 384, 382, 381, increased volume? Well, that proves my thesis that this selling momentum could bleed into today, continue to draw this down, and we continue to see the SPY dropping over the next couple of weeks, right? So we would want to play the short for the next couple of weeks. It's a make or break day. If we do open, we get the short down to 385, we see it bounce back above 4. That's when we start thinking calls. So I definitely think today and tomorrow, we're going to see the SPY make a decision on where we're going to be heading over the next couple of weeks, leading up to the new CPI, PPI numbers, and the FOMC meeting as well. All right, so again, you kind of have an idea of my plan. You understand what I'm looking at here on the SPY, what I'm planning on doing today on the SPY, and what I need to see to get involved. I have a plan to the long side, I have a plan to the short side. And again, my plan to the long side would be if we break over that 392.30 and we come back and we retest it and it's holding as support, that shows strength. That looks good. That could be the start of this daily double bottom. And that could push the stock back up to 400. Either way, there's opportunity. With calls, with puts, either way, there's 80% odds that you're going to find an opportunity with the SPY, whether that's to the long side, whether that's to the short side. Now, could the markets just chop around sideways today at 390? Sure, it could. It could be a choppy sideways day. There could be no opportunity at all. But if there is an opportunity, there's a lot of opportunity. There's definitely going to be some potential for some big swings today on the SPY. Same thing applies to the Qs. So same exact approach, just on the Qs. That key level was the gap fill level. Came down, we stopped, we chopped around, it turned into resistance. Post-market, turned into resistance. So if the Qs open, tap that level of resistance, that key level, can't break above, I'm looking to short the Qs back down to 285.22. That's my short plan. But if we pop on up, start breaking above that level, it turns back into support. Okay, I'm not looking to short it. I'm thinking that's a daily double bottom. Good time to go long. Where to? Back up to 300, first target. So I would say 90% of the focus today, guys. 90% of the focus, because it's a make or break day. SPY and the Qs. Yesterday was a make or break day as well. SPY and the Qs had a lot of our focus. We took almost 10 points out of this. Almost 10 points. It was exceptional. So good job. So that is where a lot of my focus will be, the SPY and the Qs. I do have a couple other stocks that I will be watching. So if they set up and I'm getting in, I'll explain it to you guys, but I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want there to be sensory overload this morning with like, geez, Josh, I got 20 stocks you just talked about. I can't focus, right? Just focus on NURO, okay? Get prepared. Focus on SIGA. Focus on INDP. Look at VERU. Don't want to look at 4 stocks. Pick 2 of the 4 that you like and focus on those stocks, okay? I think if you're looking at options, best bet, SPY and the Qs out of the gate, for sure. If they set up out of the gate, you could have some quick wins. SPY and the Qs out of the gate. Me personally, I'm still watching a firm today for a possible short. So at least you know I have a firm on my watch list. I'm thinking short below 23.40 down to 21.22. So if you hear me say, I'm short, you know I got short at the crack of 23.40. looking to take profits at 21.22. Okay, so I'm watching a firm today. Rivian, I was going to be watching this for a short off of the gap fill and this 20 EMA. So if we come back up again today for the second time, tap that level of resistance from the gap down, and we tap this 20 EMA, basically yesterday's high day, and we get rejected and we can't break above, and we have another reason to short. Maybe there's some divergence, maybe there's a double top, whatever. There's another intraday reason to get short. I would be looking at Rivian for a possible short today off this multi-day rejection that we could see. I'm watching Rivian. Not really watching SoFi. Now, SoFi may be a little moving average squeeze. The way it came into the moving average squeeze is not appealing, but it's worth watching to see if SoFi ever breaks $8. Right? If it ever breaks above the 50 SMA, you're going to see some interest. You're going to see some volume. You could definitely get up towards around $10 on SLFI. So that's going to be a little bit of a back burner. A little bit of a back burner. And then lastly, I missed my Airbnb short yesterday. I was watching Airbnb on Monday. I missed it yesterday because I was trading a firm and I was trading Rivian. I do want to keep this one on watch again today. Just curious to see what it does. If it sets up, if it's going to start cracking into a new all-time low. We could see this flush on out down to 100. Could be a really good day trade opportunity if we start cracking below 107.62 and making new all-time lows. Again, the next major level of support, $100. So I'm definitely watching that. And then today, we're going to shift gears a little bit. Okay, you guys were expecting maybe an ATR lesson or a MACD lesson. You guys have Bollinger Band lessons in the video lessons library. They're fantastic lessons. There's a MACD lesson in the video lessons library. It is a fantastic lesson. I want to talk about something else today. Talked about this last night, and it was very valuable. We had members in chat until about 4:30. We were discussing some unique topics. A lot of you guys weren't here, so I want to rediscuss those unique topics from last night to give you more of an edge in the markets when it comes to earnings and how we can kind of predict what way an earnings report can go. And we predicted CSCO yesterday. So it's crazy that on that live, we predicted 80% odds that Cisco was going to dump. And I'm going to explain how we predicted that and how we can actually get that edge in the market today at 11 o'clock. So we are all set, team, ready to rock and ready to roll. And we are going to make it happen today, guys. Again, the top pennies to be watching out of the gates. You got NURO above 450, room to $5. You have SIGA above 875, you have room to 937 and 10. INDP, got to break that that little downtrend here. Break back above 3. There's some opportunity, guys. Definitely on watch. And then VERU, breaking above 15, breaking that downtrend. Watch for this thing to spike up towards around $15.50. So we are all set, and we are ready to rock and roll. Woo! Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Frank, would you consider answering my no such thing as a stupid question, Frank? There is no such thing as a stupid question. We are all new traders at one point in time. We all had questions, simple questions. We didn't understand them, right? So again, shoot, ask. I got you. All right, so we are all set. Now, patience. That's it. It's a game of patience, guys. All right, we had some fun, we got prepared, we know what's moving, and we want to make money. All right, we want to make money, we want to trade. We just need to sit back and wait for an opportunity to come to us. The stock needs to, hey Josh, hey Inura, what's up? Hey, it's time. It's time? Yeah, it's time. Why? We're getting ready to rip. Why? There's a setup. Oh, it's time? It's time. Trade me, buy me. I need the stock knocking at my door saying, hey, let's go, it's time. Unless that happens, I'm just going to sit back and wait for the knock at the door. You know, we may have we may have a trade on the spine to Qs right out of the gate in the first 5 minutes, guys. I mean, we are starting to creep. Here, let's do this. Let's just go spine Qs. Let's do that, guys. If you guys see a penny stock that's setting up and you want me to look at it, shift my attention back to the penny stock. But the way we just opened and the way we're squeezing to the upside, I want to see if we get up to that key level and get rejected. That could be a killer short today on the Qs and the SPY. If you guys missed that killer short yesterday on the SPY, I want to make sure that we don't miss any other opportunities. Because those contracts, if you would have traded them correctly, we talked about this last night, you could have, right? Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But if you would have taken that trade on the SPY, you would have scaled out properly the way you scale out. You could have technically rode the SPY down the low a day. Those options went up 600%. It's insane. So if we set up again today, I do not want you guys missing that opportunity, because that was a huge opportunity yesterday on the SPY. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go shift over to the SPY. Okay, why? Because we're coming back up that 390.54 level. That is yesterday's low. You pop above that 390.54, your key level is that gap level. That's that gap fill from yesterday. That's 392.34. That's a very key level. And if we see resistance at that level, start to see the markets roll over, don't be surprised if I jump in short. Be surprised if you hear me screaming, I'm short. Right, I'm short on the Qs. Right, I'm going long on SQQQ. I think there's some killer opportunity today. However, if we see a strong push above those key levels of resistance and we hold that level, that's probably going to be the start of a daily double bottom. That could push the Qs back to 3. That could push the SPY back to 4. You got to be very, very smart with how you trade this today. Right? If you find yourself on the wrong side of the trade, do not stay on the wrong side of the trade. Get out, take the paper cut, move on. Move on. No, you cannot short a stock on a cash account. The only way you can, quote unquote, short a stock or make a profit for when the stock is dropping on a cash account is to actually buy a put. SIGA is on watch above 875. So I am watching SIGA here to see what happens at 875. If we see some strong buying pressure, I'm looking to scalp this for a quick pop to 9 off of that 875 support level. That would be an intraday higher low off 875. I risk right under 875, so like an 870 stop loss. It's a scalp with a nice tight stop. You know, 875 is that psychological level for penny stocks that is held up beautifully. So again, if I do jump in, I'll tell you. If you hear me getting out within 10 seconds, that's the way I trade sometimes. Right? I'll get in for a quick move, expecting a quick move. If we don't see the quick move, I jump right out before it dumps on off. That's how I scalp. So these are trades you don't take. I tell you straight up, this is a scalp. This is a quick in and out. Okay? Can't follow me into these trades. I'm long, locking in profit, scalping it, 600 shares left. Still holding a piece just to see if it squeezes over 9. Still holding a piece just to see if it squeezes over 9 here. 881 was my entry there, right off 875, looking for a possible push over $9 here to lock in a couple bucks. $600 shares left, still holding. Taking a bit more at $9 here. I'm completely out. I'm out. $200. Done. Again, I like those higher lows. I know 875 is a psychological level. We have decreasing volume into 875. I bought right at 875. I was going to literally risk 3 to 5 cents at most. If it didn't hold, it was dead to me. If it bounced and followed through, I know we have at least 20 cents to the upside. What did we get? 875 to $9. Quick scalp, 30-second trade. I made $203. Not a lot, but it was a scalp. If it would have broke and ripped, it could have been much more. But I wasn't aiming for a home run. I was aiming for a quick little scalp. So 203.46 on that quick little pop, and my risk was literally 50 cents. 50 cents. So quick little win there. Quick little win there on SIGA for a quick scalp. I wanted to set those expectations ahead of time that you cannot follow me into these trades. These are not alerts. These are just me saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'd like to be honest with you guys and transparent. But again, you cannot jump into these trades because they happen within 20, 30 seconds. Back over to the SPY and the Qs. The SPY, got to watch it around that 392.30. But check the Qs. The Qs are at that key level of resistance. Why in the world is it getting rejected at that 292? Well, that was the gap fill level, right there. What's that gap fill level? Let's actually readjust on the Qs. Let's readjust. The gap fill level is actually 291.18. So we're actually slightly above that gap fill level right now. Qs. SPY. Make sure that gap level is accurate. It is. That is going to be 392.34. But what did we also say? Yesterday's lows and yesterday's close could be a lower level of resistance for the SPY. So right now, we need to see something set up intraday. Double top, bearish divergence, crack of a trend line, something that suggests it's time to get short. Right now, we're just looking to see what the SPY and the Qs do at these two levels of resistance. So yeah, inside a chat, we have a 3-second delay inside a chat. On YouTube, we have a 6-second delay. Don't mirror trade, period. Even if it's real time, instantaneous, don't mirror trade. You're not going to see consistent results. Just not. It's a proven fact. Not going to happen. So if you know it's not going to happen and it's a proven fact, why even quit? Don't. I do want to talk about SKYH real quick, just for those of you that are looking for a possible day trade that can turn into a swing trade. Okay, SKYH is a great day trade opportunity that I think can turn into a fantastic swing trade. We took this twice. We had a nice little multi-day move here, called it again for the double bottom swing trade. Boom, we hit target within 3 days. What are we looking to do right now? We're looking to possibly break out of the squeeze. Lower highs, higher lows. We are today on SKYH, you are above the 20 EMA. 20 EMA resistance, 20 EMA resistance. We are above the 20 EMA. That's a good first sign of strength. So 850 support. Fall below 850, you'll walk away. If you start breaking this downtrend and $10, that's a confirmation to get long. Right? I mean, you could get long now if you want, and if you want to anticipate it, it's risky biscuits. But if you want to start scaling in, you could. Your stops are under 850. But the second you start breaking 10, the second you start breaking this downtrend, don't be surprised if you see this thing just rip. It's a very low float stock. It's 500,000 in float. When this thing gets that volume, if this starts breaking out and picking on up, don't be surprised if you see it up towards around $13. Okay? First target, 1062. Second target, 1107. Third target, 1220. Final target, 50 SMA, 1382. Could that happen today? Absolutely it could. It's such a low float stock, we could see this rip $3-4 today. If it doesn't rip $3-4 today, but it still looks good on the higher time frames, this could be a day trade. take some profits, and it turns into a little bit of a swing trade, kind of like my trade a few weeks back on BTTX. It was a day trade, scaled out, locked in some profits, held a little bit, got another 50% to the upside. So absolutely, team, absolutely watch SKYH, 100%. So we tapped that 391.86, yesterday's close, starting to see a little bit of resistance here. What's today's low of day? So today's low of day, we opened, and the low was 388.49. So we don't see something set up here to get in, and it just starts dumping below low of day. Look to short this down to 385.15. Same thing applies with the Qs. If we can't get a trade up here off a solid level or a solid reason, and we just dump and pop below the low of day today, which is around 289.22, we'll simply look to short this down to 285.22. Okay, so yes, we're still absolutely 110% focused on the SPY, focused on Qs. Exactly what we talked about this morning. This is exactly what we talked about last night. Slight gap down, push into the gap fill level, that key resistance level, getting rejected, not able to get above. I would expect to see the Qs go red on the day, come back down to retest that 285 low. Same thing with the SPY. Okay, we opened lower, we popped up very close to that key level. If we turn red on the day, I would expect to see us down to retest that 385 low. There's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of potential to lock in some great profits. So I just want to point out IMAC. For those of you watching IMAC, just want to point out we are holding above that 98-cent level. Remember, it was like 98 to $1. We are trying to hold above 98 cents. So I would keep it on watch above $1. You can stay above 98, regain $1, and we start to see that push off $1. Definitely think about taking it long to 116. You can put your stops right underneath this level of support if this level of support actually holds. Watching IMAC, that's what you need to see take place on IMAC. If you're watching that really random mover yesterday, DPSI, now halted to the upside. What happened yesterday on DPSI? You got halted, you gapped up, you ripped. Then you started the dump, started the rip. So again, a little cautious with these halts. Last thing I want to see you guys doing, jumping in after a halt goes live and just watching the thing dump. Do need to break above yesterday's close. So if we do gap up out of the halt and we hold above 816, you could play it long to 10. Could play it long to 10. So I know some of you are watching DPSI, and that's what you really need to see first. You need to see the stock open up out of the halt, not dump. Ideally, stay above 816. If we get above 816, holding above it as support, and you do have potential to $10. Guys, come on, it doesn't get any easier than that. Look at Cole. Got SPY puts. He absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. Right up to that 382, that 392 level. Grab puts to the penny. Cole. It doesn't get any better than that. That's exactly what we talked about last night. If you guys were on the stream, this is exactly what we talked about. I broke it down in so much detail on what I expected to happen, right? A long plan and a short plan in detail. Exactly what just took place. Like gap down, out of the gate, strong push up to resistance, and then it's flushing on out, going right on the day, working its way back down to last week's lows. I mean, textbook, perfect, clean, sexy, beautiful, you name it. So if you guys were grabbing that, congrats. Congrats, team. So here's what you guys need to do. Here's what you guys need to do. And in my honest opinion, we talked about this yesterday. When you get into a trade, you probably have multiple contracts, multiple shares. Put yourself in a position to scale out. So when you are in a trade and you hit your first profit target and you scale out, right, you take a little bit off the table, what happens to your stop? Put it at break even. But if the stock continues the trend, let's say it's downtrending, every time it makes a new low, put your stop over the prior swing high. So you trail your stop down from break even over the prior swing high. It dumps. Okay? It pops on up, makes a new low. Stop loss gets trailed down over the prior swing high. Okay? It dumps, it pops, new low. Stop loss gets trailed down over the prior swing high. It dumps, it pops, it drops. Trail your stop loss down over the prior swing high, over the prior swing high, over the prior swing high. If you would have just done that yesterday, that is the easiest way to scale out of a trending stock. The easiest way to scale out of a stock that's going to trend with momentum. Yesterday was a great example. Just trailing your stop from break even over every swing high as it's trending, you could have taken the SPY to the close. Like, no BS. Just look at it. Look at it. You could have done that properly in taking the SPY to the low of day. That was a 600% move out of those options. Now, could it have popped up and stopped you out at some point? Absolutely. If you would have done that here this day, you would have been stopped out, right? You're not expecting to hit home runs like that every day. But you want to put yourself in a position just in case it's a home run, right? Just in case, right? If you were stopped out, who cares? You're locking in your base hit. You're getting paid. But if you don't get stopped out, look at all that profit. Look at all that 600%. It's insane. Those contracts were worth $1. They're worth $1. They were $600 to $700 by the end of the day. So all you have to do, you take your trade. Let's say you were in 2 contracts, right at high a day. See it drop, see it bounce, you see it dump. So you can go from risk-free and you can trail your stop loss over this prior swing high. So right now, this red line is where you would trail your stop loss to. It's over the prior swing high. If you want to keep it at risk-free, you can, or you can simply bring it down over that prior swing high. So when do you bring your stop loss down again? I'm sure that's the next question. When would I trail my stop loss down? Once you see a bounce, so let's say you bounce on up, pop out, once you make a lower low. So once you make a lower low is when you would bring that red line down underneath the prior swing high. Just continue to do that until you're stopped out. So it drops, say it pops on up, and it rolls on over. What do you do at that point in time? Take your trailing stop, put it over the prior swing high. Just do that until you're stopped out or until you hit your main profit-taking level. That's how you're going to stay in a good winning trade, by just trailing your stop loss, especially if that stock is trending for the, which right now you guys are already up substantially on the SPY and the Qs. You guys, we talked about this last night on TikTok. Someone asked, what's your analysis on the SPY for tomorrow? And we took about 30 minutes, and I broke it down penny to penny, exactly what I expected and how you can play this out of the gate. Some of you guys played this right out of the gate, right into our key level on the SPY, right into our key level on the Qs. Okay, that's exactly what we talked about. So very important to pay attention and have those plans in place. Very important. Very nice. Oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are officially 22 minutes into our day. Mr. Stir has already locked in $852 in 22 minutes. Mr. Stir, woo! That's what I'm talking about. Good job. Way to come in, have a plan, execute your plan, make it happen. Oh, dude, you made $800 in 22 minutes. Bye. See ya. I'll see you tomorrow. See ya. You don't need to be here right now, okay? You already hit your daily goal. You probably exceeded it. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Honestly, don't even come back tomorrow. Just enjoy your weekend. Enjoy a 3-day weekend. I'll see you Monday. Okay, enjoy your money, and I'll see you later. But no, seriously though, good job. It's exciting. It's awesome. What's your rule for hitting your daily profit target? You have a rule when you walk away for the day. All right, you have a rule when you hit your target if you take another trade. The last thing I want to see you guys doing, being up substantially, hitting your goals, and walking away red or break even. So your mindset right now is capital preservation. Walk away with your profits. Not put yourself in a position to give those profits back. Take a trade. My rule, 10% of my profits. So the next trade that you take, you can only risk $80. Made $800, 10%, $80. You can only risk $80. If you lose $80, you're done for the day, you're out. But if you hit a winner, you can keep adding to the bottom line. But make sure your focus and your mindset now is capital preservation. Secure your profits. Hold on to your profits. So here's our bounce coming on up. We are starting to see our bounce here on the Qs. What I would like to do at this point in time is take a Fibonacci from this high to this low. That's what I want to do, is run a fib from high to low and get an idea of where we could retrace to for rolling back on over. So fibs not only work in uptrends, fibs work in downtrends. So what do I notice about this 38.2 fib? I notice it's right at a key level of resistance. I notice it was right around the VWAP as well. So paying attention to this 289.31 level. Going to see if we hit resistance at one of these fib levels and if it lines up another level of support or resistance to really give us an idea, can we utilize this fib as a retracement point, possibly enter a new short position. A 50% retracement puts you right at 290. Same thing would apply with the SPY. Not only do you have this downtrend on the SPY, grab yourself a fib, take it from high a day, roll it to low a day. Just be mindful of your fib levels. See if we find resistance at, say, that 50% fib. I think the 50% fib is actually a decent little level of resistance. Why is that? It lines up with that little hiccup candle, right around that little hiccup candle. So I think that could be a good level of resistance if we do see the market roll on back over. Now we just sit back and wait and relax, see what happens. I think you guys did, right? If you guys got out, congratulations. If you guys took profits, enjoy them. Just using yesterday's move as an example, that if you do take a trade with the plan of leaving a runner, how you can properly trail your stop losses to actually leave a runner on the table. And if you would have done that yesterday, you would have ran it down the low a day. Now, most of the time, you get stopped out, right? At break even on your runner, maybe slight profit. Most of the time, you're getting stopped out on a runner. But when you're not stopped out on a runner, it makes it worth it, right? Getting stopped out at break even on your runners 10 times in a row. And then that 11th time, you hit a 600% winner. Is it worth the 10 stop outs on your runner to make that one runner 600%, 500%? I think that's worth it. I think it's worth it. Got Derek Guy. Derek Guy already locking in some profits. Woo! Nice, buddy. Nice. Quick little $300 there on the Q short. Congrats. You could have taken DPSI. Fast and quick and risky, but it did work out. All right, team. I'm looking for a trade on the spine to Qs coming on up. For a trade on the spine to Qs coming on up. Let's see where you're going to top out at. If we start topping out, we got SQQQ. I know TQs. I know I get drawn to SQs. I do get drawn to the SQs. This is my go-to. I feel comfortable with. Just took a dip in the OTE zone, right? So we just took a dip in that OTE zone. Remember the fib lesson, the optimal trade entry zone. It works both ways, right? Optimal trade entry for a short. Same thing if you invert the chart. So if you go like negative QQ, let's just say this was a retracement. That retracement, that lower shadow, was in the OTE zone. But obviously, it just occurred to the upside, right in the middle of the 61.8 fib and the 78.6 fib. Anthony, up 50% on the SPY put. Good job. Locked in $100 profit. Well done. Some free money today from the stream. That's what I'm talking about. Good job on that. Again, I have SQs up on watch off to the side. Watching the Qs here. What I want to get ahead and do is connect the dots. I want to connect these dots. High a day, lower high. If we see the Qs pop back up into the downtrend, still a lower high, and we see it get rejected, I am looking to short Qs off that third point downtrend. Looking for a double top here, looking for a lower high, looking for the rejection and the washout. If we see that take place, don't be surprised if I yell, I'm in on SQQQ. Right? By going long on SQQQ, I'm essentially shorting the Qs. I want the Qs to dump, so SQs rip to the upside. So let's see what we have coming on up. If you break that downtrend, watch for a high day retest. Okay, if you break the downtrend here off this higher low, watch for a high day retest. See it get held down off the downtrend. You start to fall back below the 90 EMA, fall back below the VWAP. You're starting to fall back below this low. Watch for the Qs to pull back to low of day. And we're just analyzing, right? This is a part of our preparation, building plans, right? The 3 A's, we analyze, assess, accept. Right now, we're just analyzing. We're analyzing what we see. Start to see something that looks good. We can start assessing our entries, our stops, our targets, accept the outcome, place the trade. Right now, we're just in step number 1. First A, we're analyzing. Something needs to present itself. Has to be an opportunity. All right, it's 10 o'clock. Dude, I always space about YouTube. I need to have like someone over there on YouTube for me to say goodbye. 9:45. But again, guys, we were live on Tuesday all day. We went live on TikTok yesterday for you guys as well, so you can kind of listen in and tune in. Enjoy the rest of your day, YouTubers. Congratulations. If you locked in some great profits, you got Anthony locking in 50% on his SPY puts. He locked in $100 on those SPY puts. So congratulations, Anthony, and congratulations to anybody else over on YouTube locking in some profits. You guys know where to find us. If you want to trade live with us every single day, just hop over to AlphaDayTrading.com. Feel free to join the team and enroll. Let's have some fun. Let's lock in some profits. Until next time, happy and safe trading, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning right at 8:15, we start going live. So pretty strong rebound here on the Qs. Pretty strong rebound on the Qs. Let's see if it's actually going to break and start moving. I mean, it was a great short out of the gate. I mean, right off that level, nice short, right out of the gate, nice quick win. This could be the start now of a daily double bottom. Yeah, we didn't come down exactly to that low, but this would be a double bottom with a higher low. So now what are we doing? We're just watching this 292 level on the Qs. So if we break above 292, stay above 292, you want to think calls. You want to play this long. I would expect this to be the start of this daily double bottom for an actual reversal, maybe leading up to the FOMC meeting, CPI, PPI. So breaking and holding above 292 here intraday. Your next target is 297. Your target after 297 is $300 here on the Qs. That's if we break and hold. Same thing applies to the SPY. I like how that rhymed. Same thing applies to the SPY. Over 392.34. That's when you want to think long here on the SPY, as this would be the start of a higher low double bottom. Have room to 395.65. Then I would just call it $400 after that. You may have a little bit of resistance at like 397.50, but I see $400 being your main level. Just because we rebounded doesn't mean it's going to continue higher. We could see this be one big double top, and we could see this just dump on off. Don't chase this. Wait for your confirmation. The only penny stock you should be watching right now at this point in time, PERU, is the only penny stock you guys should be watching. All right, YouTubers, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one. Same thing, TikTok.